welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual hosts here, Josh Hartley and Ben Porter. Ben, how are we doing?
I've had a bit of a weird day.
Oh, weird how?
Well, you know, you just have weird days.
Yeah.
But right,
something
okay.
in particular then.
But, so there was a specific event, and it was at the start of the day, so that kind of...
It gets you off on the wrong foot.
If something weird happens at the start of the day, that's like tone set. So everything else feels a bit weird thereafter, right?
Right, yeah.
So, as you know, I'm an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
So we were working in sheltered accommodation today.
Okay.
And we went in. The manager, the normal manager, wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this like older guy there, like quite nondescript, glasses, bald, and my dad, because I work with my dad, he goes over to speak to him. Naturally, I go with him, and my dad's in the middle of explaining what we're here to do, and then the guy turns to me, points at me, and goes, "I don't trust him."
Right.
Right.
What? Oh. That's not a normal thing to do.
Right, just to emphasise how weird this is, I had not uttered a word.
Right.
But, throughout the whole time I came into the building.
Okay.
I had not said or done anything. And this guy turns to me completely unprompted and goes, "I don't trust him."
Well, did he explain why?
No. But he went like that, "I'm only joking." And then I just looked at him. And he was like, "Oh, right." And then, so... You could see he was getting a bit nervous because you're
6'1"
Yeah, I'm quite big, and I've been told that I can be quite serious at times.
Yeah,
quite severe of expression, severe of countenance.
I've never experienced that at all, Ben.
No. So he was getting a bit nervous, and he started talking shit, and he goes like that to my dad. He's quite a bit taller than you, isn't he? And my dad's like, "Yeah, he's my son."
Yeah.
So it's like, this is all added
just so awkward.
Yeah. So, he's flapping a wee bit, explaining what's happening, trying to gloss over that. And then we're on the way out the door, and the guy pats me in the back and goes, "Sorry about that, big man." It's like, "I just want you to know I was only joking because you seem like the kind of guy that would take umbrage."
Oh, my... So you had to deal with the most awkward person on the planet this morning, basically.
First thing this morning.
Oh god, you've had some rotten luck with people because you've had the Just Eat incident as well, which we were meant to talk about on the last episode.
So the Just Eat incident had happened. I wasn't having the best of days.
Right, and this was the same day we were playing Kingdom Death and. You weren't enjoying Kingdom Death.
Oh, I'm done with Kingdom Death. I am done with that game. But more on that later.
Right.
Because I'm going to compare it to Fallout.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that. But, so Mark was over and we ordered KFC.
Yeah, as you do.
But then, you'd mentioned earlier, I'm quite big, so I do eat quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And a portion of my chicken was not included in the order.
Right, okay.
So
annoying.
I phoned them up, right? KFC have got terrible reviews because you don't connect directly to them, you connect to the Just Eat call centre.
Okay.
So after all this faff, Charlotte's and my numbers getting confused...
I remember this, right, because you called Just Eat, and did they put you through to your wife, Charlotte?
Yeah, so then she goes I was like, "Hi, I'm phoning about the chicken," and then Charlotte goes, "I'm in Perth just now, I'll put you through to my husband." And I'm like, "Charlotte, it's me." And she's like, What? "Charlotte, it's Ben. They've connected our numbers for some reason." Yeah.
And then you call them back.
And then after that, I finally reached Just Eat.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, and I think he was Dutch or something. He's like, "Okay, just let me connect through to your account now." And he goes, "Oh, wow, you're a good customer to Just Eat."
Just get basically basically getting called a pie by the pie factory that is Just Eat.
Wow, you're a fat bastard. Like even the Just Eat guy was like, "Wow, this guy's pushing it."
Look, we all have our vices, and to be fair, you're not fat.
No.
So
mine is fried chicken. So
yeah, they're much worse.
Yeah,
they're much worse. Anyway, so that concludes our new segment. Ben has a terrible time.
Ben's weird anecdotes. Yeah.
Welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast, and we were chatting before we started recording tonight, right? You can tell it's coming up to Essen and like the Christmas period, because there is actually I feel like I say this every episode, but there is actually loads of stuff going on right now, and we're gonna forget some stuff.
As far as releases go, it's definitely ramping up.
Yeah, you can tell. So why don't we just start on that and some of the big releases that are coming up? I think the most notable one that is, would have just happened by the time that you're listening to this, guys. Last Friday, the Transformers TCG was released.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I thought that was November.
No. According to our pals at Geek Retreat, shout out Declan. No, they put up a post saying it's being released as of us recording tomorrow.
Okay, sure.
So Friday the 28th. So I am gonna have to just pick that up, I think. And
well, I was thinking the same, but I have just shelled out for Nightvault, so I might have to hold back a bit.
We promised Charlotte that we wouldn't talk too much about Nightvault.
I'm so excited, Josh.
I know you are. I know. I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
So between the two of us, we're going to have Nightvault and Transformers to try out.
So looking forward to giving the Transformers game a go. Obviously developed by Wizards of the Coast, who have a very good pedigree with this sort of thing. Of course, speaking of Wizards of the Coast, the Magic the Gathering pre-release will have been happening as you are listening to this.
Guilds of
Ravnica. Return to Ravnica.
Okay.
Basically, we're back for the third time, but it does look like a really sweet set, and the Ravnica, it's a favourite setting.
Well, like we were saying, popular enough to merit a D&D expansion.
Exactly. So, I think what we're going to do is, if I manage to get along to one of the pre-releases, I might do a little segment on how I got on and what I think of the set. So look forward to that, guys. In terms of stuff that we've been doing, though, what have we been getting up to lately?
Well, very quickly before we go into what we've been up to, as far as releases go, Reef will be out by now as well.
Yes.
That is from the people who made Azul.
Mm-hmm.
I think the company are actually shifting their focus to abstract games.
Okay.
So
Azul was very popular.
Yeah. So and I've been hearing good stuff about Reef as well. So it'll be interesting.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, looks very pretty.
Very pretty.
And
if the component quality from Azul is anything to go by, I've got quite high expectations for that.
Yeah. Oh, Reef looks really nice.
Yeah.
It is. It's all like coral and stuff like that. It does look nice. So Reef is on its way out. Games Workshop have also announced they're doing another box set for 40k.
Will this just be in time for Christmas, I'm guessing?
Maybe. Yeah. It's called Waking the Dead, and it's Space Marines versus Eldar. And I think what
actual Eldar or Dark Eldar?
No, like Eldar. Oh
right,
whatever they're calling
two kind of good guy factions.
Kind of good guy, but Space Marines.
Well, Space Marines aren't really good. Neither are Eldar.
Yeah, there's space Nazis, right?
Yeah, there's no good guys in the 40k.
Well, the
universe.
Imperium is evil anyway.
Yeah.
So that's coming out. Apparently, what they're doing now is like they're doing a box set. They're like chapters in a narrative arc, because you just had Tooth and Claw, which was Gene Stealers versus Space Wolves.
Yeah.
So these are obviously selling really well. These box sets.
Well, they keep doing them.
And they're generally speaking great value for money. So
that's true. Yeah. Good way of getting into the hobby.
Yeah. So that's coming out, and I think we can expect to see more of these in the future. It looks as though it's something they're gonna keep doing, and then they tend to have like one or two exclusive miniatures that you can only get in that box set. So it looks like an emergent trend.
Yeah,
from G-Dubs.
So look forward to seeing how that pans out in the coming weeks and months.
And then by the time this will go live, the game that shall not be named, Nightvault will be out.
Nightvault will be out, and we'll be unboxing, sharing our impressions, probably frothing at the mouth. Just
might do a wee Twitch stream.
Maybe. So yeah, watch this space, guys. Watch this space.
Yep.
Things we've been up to this week. I think we should. I want to talk quickly about Port Royal. It's not a new game by any stretch.
No.
But we got this in our latest crate from Board Game Crate.
Yes, we
which
did.
You can check out on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fancy yourself a cheeky discount from Board Game Crate,
go
to their website. And in the voucher section, just enter all one word, all lowercase. Unlucky Frog is awesome. It's easy to remember because it's true.
Definitely a catchphrase now.
Yeah, well, slogan. I think they say in the biz.
Do you feel that catchphrase is somewhat derogatory?
No, it just makes me think of the game show.
I love that show.
I know, exactly.
Kid, yeah.
No, this is what I was getting. If anything, it's a high standard to achieve. You know, the Mr. Chip seal of approval.
Like, when I was a wee guy, I watched that every Saturday. I loved that. That and Noel Edmonds' House Party.
They don't make TV like that anymore.
No.
Pretty sure Noel Edmonds isn't allowed on the BBC anymore. I don't know, like...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think there was a fallout there.
Okay.
But, one of the games included was Port Royal, which we'd never played before.
No.
Obviously, neither of us own it, because it's not.
But this is the cool thing about, shameless plug, the Board Game Crate algorithm.
Yes.
Because what it does is it goes through your collection, and it looks at trends in the types of games that you like, and it also looks at what you have and do not have. So with Board Game Crate, it means that potentially you're going to get some gems, a little blast from the past that you've maybe overlooked, which is neat.
But and Port Royal, I was it's just a nice sort of easygoing game to play. There's a push your luck element to it. Because what you've got is your deck of cards, and on your turn you will get cards out into the harbour.
Yeah.
But if you get two ships of the same colour, you scrap it all, and you effectively lose your turn. But you get more actions if you get more different coloured ships. So you're incentivized to keep going.
It feels a bit like blackjack.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of that, 21 bust sort of thing.
Yeah, so there's a degree of decision making, but there is a lot of luck involved as well.
But that's fine. If a game, that's how the game has set itself up. But I personally had a lot of fun with it. One of the things I really liked about the game, actually, right, you get currency in it as well. The currency is just the face-down card.
Yeah.
There's a little coin on the back of the cards, and that's what you use.
Yeah,
it's just a neat little efficient design.
It's a little Aztec coin as well, so it's
very
thematically it all meshes nicely. But so, although we've said that about luck being a huge factor of the game, like I was saying to you, like I've been a bit scunnered the past couple of weeks, just extenuating circumstances and things like that, just some of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, and then also getting scalped a lot at games.
Never feels good.
Sometimes you just have a bad run, right? It happens to everyone. But Port Royal felt like a breath of fresh air amongst all of that. Even though I've not won a game of Port Royal yet. No, I've won one, I think. But you can enjoy that and still lose it.
Yeah, it's just if nothing else, laugh at the misery of your opponents.
I love your over the top reactions whenever you go bust. It's just
I get a little sweary, I must admit. I don't know why. But the thing is, right? I normally don't get wound up playing a game, but for some reason, it's like, oh well, I've got my 3rd different coloured ship now. Surely I won't peel another one off the top. Ah!
Turn the air blue.
Yeah. But no, we were impressed by it. Not a new game, like I say. So please don't have a go at us in the comments section if you're that way inclined. But no, that was
quite compact as well, so you can take it anywhere. You can set it up in seconds. And it's just a really fun game to play, because the thing that we all said is we felt like we could play that with anyone,
almost anyone. Aye,
like even someone that's not remotely interested in games.
Aye,
if there was like a 10-minute lull, it'd be like, I've got this in my bag, do you want to give it a go?
So that's one of the games that we've been playing.
Yeah.
Do you know what else we played? We played a lot of, but sadly due to technical difficulties, we cannot share with the world, because we had Justin from Bad Cat Games over, and we were playing a lot of his game that's on Kickstarter right now. So Gladiatores.
There'll be a link in the show notes.
Oh yeah. Gladiatores is what we've been playing. The game of gladiator, card-driven gladiator combat. So we had that was Saturday night. I pretty enjoyed.
Saturday night's all right for fighting.
As Elton John once said, and Elton John was a Roman gladiator. Not a lot of people know that.
Well, he was named after Eltonus Johnus.
Eltonus Johnus,
who had like a visor with like star shaped.
Oh my, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right, Justin, you've got a new stretch goal.
It's a famous Gallic gladiator.
Yeah, there we are. So check out the Kickstarter. We had a lot of fun playing it on Saturday. It's neat. It feels a lot different to other most gladiator combat games tend to be based around miniatures and dice. No dice involved with this, and I like the card combat because it feels. It actually kind of feels like a visceral, like close combat fight, because you've got, I'll strike you with my sword. Oh well, I'll parry that, and then I'll do this. Well, I'll block that, and
it does feel
it's quite a quick. Each round of combat goes quite quick, and it feels.
I know it's
satisfying.
not necessarily the right term given the time period and all that, but it's got a sort of swashbuckling feel to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. Yeah.
You've got the dueling cards, and like you're saying, the counter moves and things like that. So what it does mean is that you can start the turn on the attack and end up a bloody mess.
Yeah. That happened a few times.
Yeah.
The other time, the other thing to bear in mind is not to like unload your hand really early, because if you run out of cards, your gladiator's knackered, and he just drops down.
It's like Life of Brian. Come over the cross. Well, that's what happens, right?
Amazing. So what else have we been playing? You and Charlotte have been playing more of Fallout, have you?
I have. So we mentioned it briefly on a previous episode. It's Fallout Wasteland Warfare, to use its full name. It's just come out. It's by Modiphius. I think it's their second foray into war games. They've got
Achtung Cthulhu was the first crack at it. But
first I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And obviously being able to secure a big brand like Fallout's a big deal.
Yeah.
So were it not for the fact that you've got this whole co-op element where like every character card in the game has an accompanying AI card,
right?
So that you can play against them, because there are, I think over this last year there seems to be a glut of miniature war games all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly picking up in popularity.
I mean, you get the Song of Ice and Fire. You've got the old staples, 40k, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Hordes,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole bunch of stuff through Kickstarter as well.
Yeah.
So if it was just another skirmish game, I don't know that as much as I like Fallout that I would have been all that interested.
Right.
What it's doing that makes it stand out from the rest is this co-op mode.
Okay.
So I've played what I've done is I just used a basic scenario from the book.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't use any add-on rules or events or anything like that. Just had Charlotte and myself against the AI,
Mm-hmm.
just so that we could wrap our heads around that. And
Right.
then my plan is later on to look at the settlement rules and all that, because what I'm thinking is that it could scratch that itch that we've tried to with Kingdom Death.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole building your settlement and seeing the population grow and all of that. Kingdom Death, Kingdom Death's brutal.
It is just out to shaft you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, some people might love that. I hate feeling powerless in a game, and Kingdom Death makes you feel like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you're told from the beginning not to become invested in your characters, but after they get a few successes, you inevitably do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a human thing. You become attached to them, and then they'll just get taken out in one fell swoop of horrible things.
Yep.
Which is what happened to my character the other week, and I feel that the deck is just stacked against you in Kingdom Death a bit too much.
Okay.
I mean, like, you take a game like Arkham Horror, which is co-op, the deck is very much stacked against you, but with a bit of preparation and clever decision making, you can make most things work.
Yeah, you can overcome.
You're probably going to come out messed up.
Aye.
But
much like you would if you did face Cthulhu.
Yeah. But there's enough leeway for the players to skillfully work their way through. I think that doesn't happen in Kingdom Death.
So Fallout so far has been a bit more forgiving.
Well, I've not really examined the events and things like that, but certainly, like in Kingdom Death, you're fighting against one horrendous demonic monstrosity that can kill you, and with a
its backhand.
Yeah. Whereas in this, it's like if you're playing against super mutants, they are big, dumb mutants. So there's a degree of predictability to what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if we stand back a bit and just shoot these guys, will they try to run at us to hit us with planks of wood?
Yeah.
But occasionally you'll get a mutant that's a bit smarter,
right?
And that mutant will be playing the objective while his idiot pals are all just running around trying to smash people.
All right. Oh.
So there's a bit more nuance to it already, and that's just how one set of enemies will behave. So if you're against human enemies, they're going to be a bit smarter.
Yeah,
they're going to be using the cover a bit more and that sort of thing. And the objectives aren't always kill the thing that's in front of you.
Yeah, which is nice, right?
Yeah, sometimes you're just like, go to the diner and hack the terminal.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that the super mutants are there.
Yeah.
So you could do for example, you could have a couple of guys in power armor, keep the super mutants busy, or you send a guy in to hack the terminal behind them. So already I'm seeing a lot more depth, and I'm really excited to throw in the events and the settlement rules.
What are the miniatures themselves like?
They're really nice.
Yeah,
yeah. They're based on the sculpts from the game,
which is really cool, right? And I suppose we can do that now with technology. Just get the in-game graphics and just go right 3D print that. Yeah. That's our mold.
They're not quite. I don't think you can really compare anything to like the Games Workshop standard.
No. GW do like I keep saying it, but it's true.
Yeah.
They make the best miniatures out there.
Yeah.
Fight me. Fight me if you think I'm wrong. Right.
Yeah. There's a show in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But the you don't have the degree of customization, but that's fine because you've got all of this campaign stuff to play through, and you could like convert your models a bit if you want. I've seen some people do that already.
Yeah.
But I'm actually quite excited for this game, and I'm looking forward to jumping into it and just seeing what sort of story emerges from.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Dice Summoners.
Yeah.
We were playing Dice Summoners earlier this evening as well.
Yeah.
So this is
it's Decking Awesome Games.
Decking Awesome, and we had a crack at it at Tabletop Scotland, and they were very kind enough to give us a copy to take home and have a shot with.
Because we weren't able to play through a full game at Tabletop Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
But we have now.
Yes. So what are our thoughts?
There's some interesting mechanics there. Like you said earlier, who doesn't love rolling dice?
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Just getting a big double fistful of dice and letting them all go. So basically what you're doing in Dice Summoners is it's a dice combat game effectively, but you're using the dice to buy new resources as well as like dealing damage
cast
and
spells and stuff like that.
Yeah. These are all represented by individual cards as well.
Yeah.
So fits into quite a neat compact box. And yeah, there's something very satisfying about the way it plays, where you're building up your force. Right, you start with like 3 basic guys, but then over time you'll change them into better guys. And
you say basic, it's like an ankylosaurus, a succubus, and a griffin. So
yeah, that's an awesome sitcom to me.
Yeah.
That's my go-to joke, or one of my go-to jokes, and I'm sorry. All right,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Have I done that joke on podcast actually?
No, you've not. But
now this is just everyone's going to know that it's like when someone says something remotely silly, I'll go such and such. That's the name of my new band. Like
it's the same. Like I think we should do like a bingo chart.
Well, the Josh's crap patter.
Josh's Shanter bingo.
Yeah. Oh. Welsh accents on there.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to do that at some point. Like next live show, we're going to do that. We're going to hand them out. Yeah.
Right, okay. All right.
So you're kind of despairing but laughing at the same time.
I am. Back to the task at hand, though.
Yeah.
You start off with like some random dinosaur, a succubus, and a griffin.
Yeah.
So maybe not basic dudes, but in the context of this, they turn into things like angels, triceratops, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong again. Cerberus.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go! Yay! Not Cerebus.
No,
that's different.
Yeah.
So that's a really satisfying feeling. Getting more dice, chucking big loads of dice out. That's all great. Now we've only played with the basic version of the game as well. So the expansion cards could well add, a lot of complexity and depth to it. But with the basic game, it just feels like the only way to win is just get better dudes and do more damage.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, and I do quite like the sense of progression where you start out with the succubus, and then you can end up summoning. Was it like Baphomet was one of them, and he comes in and he does like 7 damage a pop, which is so. There is this feeling of like you gaining power, but the what I found was that the symbols that you're rolling in the latter half of the game almost feel irrelevant because
you're rolling that many dice.
You're rolling so many dice, and the the chances of the wild cards coming up are so much higher, because you get one wild card on a blue dice, which is like the sort of lower level ones, and you've got 2 wild cards on a red.
Yeah.
And by the time that the game finished, we had like more or less 4 of each type of die. So it almost the selection of symbols that we had by the end of the game almost meant that there wasn't really any decisions to make.
We could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, so I'm going to make my big guys attack you, and then I'll shore up my defense a bit. So I feel like the game could benefit from having the number of times the wild cards.
Yeah, some of the probabilities changed, basically. And to be fair, on the Decking Awesome team, I don't know what their playtesting process was like. So maybe that's something they did try, and it didn't work for whatever reason.
Yeah, and as you know, the game's on Kickstarter, so like the basic concepts are locked in, and the basic concepts are good. I think
it's satisfying, and I think it's a good solid idea to build on. So it'll be interesting to watch how that develops, and what Decking Awesome do with it going forward.
Mechanic wise, before we move on to the artwork, I think the other thing that I will say is that I find the way that defense works a bit odd. Because essentially what you do with defense is you're just expanding your health pool.
Yeah, we don't know if they've tried it, but we thought maybe having your defense value go away when it comes back to your turn.
Yeah.
And then you have to make a decision, right, do I attack or do I defend for a turn, and then
to me that feels as though it would be more intuitive and would be easier to keep track of as well, because it would remove the need for the counters, and all you would do is you would just plonk the dice on the defense values that you're activating for that. So we've not tried it like that, but to me that seems as though that would be a little bit more intuitive to do that. And
the art.
The art's quite strange.
Yeah. I don't. It's different. Like I like that they're trying to do something a little bit different. But if they've got like a mix mash of like different mythologies in there,
which to be fair, like D&D does that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not as if that's totally alien, but at the same time, it's a bit weird that like you have a succubus alongside an ankylosaurus.
I don't know, that's succubus riding an ankylosaurus as like some sort of cavalry.
Yeah, but then at the same time, the ridiculousness of it, I think, is maybe part of the appeal, right? Like like you were saying about the succubus riding an ankylosaur. I don't know. I feel like the quality of the art could have been a bit better.
Right. I don't know who did the art.
I don't know who did the art. I mean, it looks okay, but at the same time, it feels a bit like something that you would see on DeviantArt. And that's not in any way to be derogatory towards people that put their stuff in DeviantArt. There's some amazing stuff on there, but to me it looked a little bit amateurish. Yeah,
but the thing is, right, this is something that can be improved on.
Yeah, because it's on Kickstarter, and I know like a lot of people have said that on Kickstarter it's more or less a finished product you need, and that's true to an extent. But there are also so many games that adjust throughout the campaign based on feedback that they get.
Yeah.
And that was something that happened with Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, that's true.
There were a lot of rules and things that were completely changed based on feedback from the backers during the campaign.
So I think that's our thoughts on Dice Summoners, unless was there anything else you wanted to
No, I think that's, that there's some solid concepts there. It feels as though it needs a bit more tuning.
Things to improve on, but overall like a good solid core.
Yeah, and I think for a small company just starting out like Decking Awesome Games, it's a good shout.
Yeah.
It's nothing too out there. There's a lot of familiar concepts there that have been combined into something that will feel familiar, but it's still a little bit different. And I do feel as though the way defense works means that the game takes a little bit too long.
That's fair. No, I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what have I been doing, gaming wise? Then, I may have slipped into a new addiction. It's similar to Cardboard Crack, subtly different. Well, not even subtly different. It's very different for a card game. Age of Sigmar Champions, which we've spoken about previously.
Yeah.
I downloaded the digital app when it got into open beta.
Yeah.
And I've just been hammering away at that non-stop. It's so fun. And it's weird, right? Because I remember people who listen to the show often will probably remember when we talked about it when we got the card version of it, right? And it wasn't quite clicking with me for whatever reason. But I think that's because I was coming in with the expectation of, like most other trading card games, this is going to be very similar to Magic the Gathering. The skills and ways of analysing board states are going to be exactly the same, and they are just not. Mm-hmm. The way that the 4 lanes work, the fact that you don't get to draw a card for each turn for nothing, it makes the resource management so different to how it is in Magic or Pokemon or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think once I've started to get my head around it, it's now become this big puzzle, and I'm like, right, I'm solving this. Right, I need to find the best way of doing this game. So I'm just loving sinking my teeth into it.
It's quite interesting, like you saying that it took you a bit more time to get to grips with it, because I feel like this kind of shows how differently our brains work. Because you're really good at micromanaging and administrating and all that sort of thing and analysing numbers, whereas I understand area control, like
area control and physical actual physical space, which is
sort of that interspatial,
which is something that you have to consider in this game. Which I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of another trading card game that does that. Right, so
well, I don't think even Lightseekers has that.
Yeah,
because it doesn't have lanes divided up like that anyway. I mean the you've got Gwent. Gwent uses lanes.
This is the digital Witcher-based card game, isn't it?
Gwent's a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
And it also uses the lane control in some quite interesting ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I showed you, I've got a Wild Hunt deck.
Right. Yeah.
Where I can apply weather effects to one lane, but I've got stuff that drags other units into that lane, so that's quite fun. And again, it's maybe something that that people that play the more traditional style of trading card games wouldn't immediately take to, because it's got that extra tactical layer to it. But it's both of those games are designed to emulate battlefields.
Yeah, exactly, and that's neat, because it does evoke the idea of, we've got our central bit here, and then we've got our flanks, which is a neat little thing.
I think Elder Scrolls Legends uses lanes as well, actually.
Ah, right. There's another digital.
Yeah. So there's a few of them out there that do it.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think any of them have been quite as big as Age of Sigmar Champions.
Yeah. It's certainly for a new trading card game, it's got off as pretty well as you can.
Yeah.
So hopefully it continues.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that's quite interesting was that you started off quite lukewarm to it, and I've kind of like
you've dulled a bit. Well, I've got it installed on my phone as well, as well as my tablet. So one of the first things we did this evening when I came over was actually have a game of it.
Yeah.
Did that rekindle a bit of the interest for you?
I bet, yeah. I mean, You used a net deck.
I didn't use a net deck, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Hands up. All right. I played against an opponent who had the same champions that I'm using and is, broadly speaking, using the same strategy. That's not a net deck. I'm just copying someone else.
No, that, I mean, you're going to see like similar combinations of champions.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, there was a time like before the beta went open, or rather before the game went live properly, where I was playing against pretty much the same destruction deck over and over.
Yeah.
And that really had me scunnered of the game, because destruction are still a little bit, I don't know if overpowered's the right word, but it seems
overplayed, maybe.
They're overplayed, and it feels as though it is easier to stumble to a win with destruction. Because I think a lot of their synergies and things are a bit more obvious. Mm-hmm. And they do get some mental extra action.
Oh yeah, that's their shtick, isn't it? That's the thing that faction does really well.
Yeah.
Whereas like death is super grindy and like makes you discard everything.
Yeah.
And beats you over the head with card advantage.
Yeah.
Which is what I did earlier.
I won our game earlier. We didn't mention that, but I won it.
It's also, I think, like the second game you've won against.
Shut up, Ben. Shut up. Shut up.
No, you did win. You did.
Yeah.
But and then, like, to finish off what you're saying, chaos is about sacrificing to gain more power.
Yeah.
And then orders is all about board control.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already, considering there's only one set out there, you're seeing some quite interesting different play styles.
Diverse play styles within the same factions as well, because I've seen some like super aggressive death decks as well, and
likewise, like you get some quite aggressive order decks, but then you get some that are very defensive.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see now that the app is out, you can download it off Google Play or or the iStore. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how a meta develops, and you know, if one faction comes out being better than the rest. I've kind of got a gut feeling it's going to be more or less equal. Maybe destruction is a bit.
I think destruction has the edge at the moment. And then I would probably say order, and then I'm not sure who comes out on top with chaos and death. But then there's certain builds within each faction.
Yeah, that are going to be really good.
Yeah, like with death, the Mordant deck is quite a powerful one. All joking aside, it works quite well.
Yeah,
right?
I just need to get some of the last few cards to actually make it really good.
I've got a big fat pile of cards on the desk here waiting to get sorted. I've got loads of cards, loads of spares, and I still don't have all the cards that I want for my deck. It's part of the struggle of a trading card game.
Aye, well, and on that note,
we need to talk about dice summoners.
So I think that's all we've got time for now. Unless have we forgotten to talk about anything?
Probably.
Yeah, we'll get told off.
Yeah,
by Charlotte, and that's fine.
Flogged.
But anyway, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. We've been Unlucky Frog Gaming.
Josh is laughing because he's nervous for his flogging.
I don't want to be flogged. No, please, Ben.
Please.
No.
I'm scared too.
Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Charlotte from the Unlucky Frog Gaming podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Now be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All you need to do is search Unlucky Frog Gaming. You can also show your support for the Unlucky Frog through Patreon. To find out more information, check out our website www.unluckyfrog.com. Thanks, bye!